Hey y'all, happy Sunday for me. Who knows what day you're watching this, but I hope things are going well for you. My friend Teresa had a good post on today on less is more, and I totally agree. And a lot of times in life we get to going to just pushing our way through and getting the job done. I read a post the other day on marriage, and it's the same thing, and I had to take it a little bit to heart how everything I do I really work hard for. And Ray used to say on the horses, you're working at it too hard, Paul. If you worked at it less, you'd get more done. But I'd see people and they didn't put much effort in and they didn't get much done. But there comes a point where with the horse we have to go back, and I'll tell people a lot of times, sometimes we're trying so hard because people that are attracted to horsemanship really want to do less, and maybe that's some of the balance in my life and the peace that I find. But I've also found through doing the clinic, sometimes people are being too dainty when they ask. And when you ask 100 times and don't get a change, the horse kind of sees it as a lie, like a feel has to mean one thing. And if it doesn't mean anything 100 times and then it does mean something one time, that's a start. But if we get stuck doing that same thing over and over, we're practicing wrong translation more than we're practicing correct translation. So sometimes, and that's where it's important to have a balance between doing a job. To do a job, you have to get the job done. But when you find it takes more pressure than what it should, it's a time in between jobs on the trail or whatever to work at that, to do less, but at least your horse understands. So I guess some degree that's kind of, there's no such thing really to me as horse whisperers. It was a term made up and a secret. And nowadays with clinics and horsemanship and horse shows, it's big business, so it's not a secret thing anymore. But trying to create that whisper between your horse, that subtlety that no one sees. And I remember there was a time, getting off track a little bit, but where I thought, man, you can hardly tell what I was doing with my arms or legs, but I still could. But it's again cutting that in half, and some of it I've learned that it comes from the inside. Coffee's leaking everywhere. It's got to come from the inside of the heart, and you have to have that intent. It truly does come with a thought. It's nice. I watched a gal bending her horse, but she'd squeeze with her spur. And that's sure nicer than pulling on their head. But again, trying to cut that in half, when that works, spend some time. Do less. At least when you do less, if you don't get a change, you can always do a little more later to make sure the horse understands. And you can, just like firming up on a child or anything, but don't do so much with your horse that you kind of become a liar and say if you want to, when you want to. You have to have that clear communication and take it through to understanding. And that's the big thing, whether it be in children or relationship, is to take that time and come back to do less and work on understanding. Anyways, food for thought. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Enjoy the journey.